Yo, it was all good just a week ago, and I'll tell you why, guys. Just got off a call with Prequin. I kept saying it incorrectly. I was like Prequin, Prekin, Prekin. Anyway, they're a large database for private equity. Just got off a call with them because I want to partner with them for you guys. I want to be able to I want to be able to give you the best data as fast as I get it, but also accurate, verified, reliable data. So let's talk about Prequin. Um, I just found out about it. I was watching a university professor, and he's a great professor, speak about some private equity. What is it? Where is it? How do they operate? Venture capitalists, corporate, buyout, roll up, add on, all of it. And I was interested, and I was like, because I write a newsletter, our company writes a newsletter, a free investment newsletter for investors, small developers. When I say small developers, you're looking to get into commercial real estate. You're looking to maybe purchase, flip, or you're looking to purchase, hold, but also you're talking about the motel that changed the zoning and turned it into residential, or build, right? But you don't know where to go. You don't know where to look. And also we focus on the entrepreneurs. And when I say that, maybe you want to relocate your business, or maybe you want to get into a business that has the highest demand or value. So what we do when we send out these newsletters is show you where the big money is going, right? You gotta let the big boys do the heavy lifting, especially as a first-time investor, a small developer, or entrepreneur. You don't want to have to go and put all this capital up, or be pay overpriced premiums to get into a market. Right now in 2017, let's say, I'm trying to think, okay, maybe 2017, I was doing some real estate in Philadelphia. Real estate really started to take shape in Philadelphia in about the 2013 range. What do I mean by that? It started seeing outside money come in. Outside money from New York. You started seeing funds. You started seeing foreign money, Russia, China. And what they did in places like Northern Liberties, West Philadelphia, Strawberry Mansion, they would buy up almost essentially blocks. These prices for the homes there, the row homes, 50,000, 25,000, look like shit, but the value came with the investment. So then I started noticing a second wave of investors, right? You had the big institutionalized funds and first round investors that come in. They get the cream of the crop. They don't pay a lot. They get to they could cherry pick what they want, how they foresee it. Then you get the second wave of investors. Those are the ones that they have more money than the average, but they could stand to purchase, right? They could stand to pay a little extra. The $30,000 to $80,000 property is now 100. They could pay the 100 because they see the value. They're still early enough to pay that. All right, so they go in there, okay, and they build and rent out or hold or flip, and now they're getting the value off. But then there's the third wave, and the third wave is more like the average everyday investor that's trying to get in real estate. They watch a few YouTube videos, or them and their cousins trying to put some money together and get this thing done. Or you got a great bonus this year and you want to make your money work for yourself. You want to make your money work. You're tired of this hustle bustle 9 to 5. You got to put these slaves to work. And when I say slaves, your money, right? You got to go get it to work. So the third wave is the everyday regular folks, mom, pop, Joe, and Mary. They come in and it's too late. It's too late. They could still purchase, but they're going to pay the price. They're going to pay the premium. They're going to buy the rehabbed home, or they're going to go into the area that it has about a limit of maybe 5 to 10 years before there's a turnaround there. They can't get in those prime markets that's seen and a real change within the neighborhood, a real change in the landscape. So they come in, third tertiary investors, small time developers, and they come in a little too late. Well, you know what? Forget that. We should have a place where you can go to get the information as early as the first round got it. How did the first round know that Philadelphia was the place? Well, they look at the taxes, they look at how many people are going, they're looking at the population growth that's happening there, they're looking at the corporations that's moving there, they're looking at private equity that's going there, they're looking at the money that the state and the city is putting in infrastructure. But Philly is bad because they still have 2 lanes going up 76, man, or 676. They need to get rid of that. The traffic there is so bad, but they already got these signals that tells them that Philly's hot. Philly's going to be the next spot. I was watching a video with this gentleman. He owns a fund. He's the CEO of the fund. And he was talking about, he actually, let me pull that back. It's the CEO of Crow Holdings, Trammell Crow. Love Trammell Crow. So they're a huge development, investment, just all around big real estate, mega pioneers in this. So they're based down in Dallas, but still, we're talking to the CEO. I'm watching the video. So he goes, the person asked him, great interviewer, and he said, what's the holdings? How do you guys actually know where to go? How do you guys prepare yourself on finding out the next hot spot or try to get in there? And what he said was amazing. He said, and this is exactly right. And basically, really how Trammell Crow did it back in the day too, right? Watch the markets, watch the macroeconomic movements in an area. Watch population growth, watch what the big money, which is big money, you can't really compete. It's going to be government money, but they're slow to act. They're almost like a reactionary thing. But he did say, we look where the population is moving. And I think that's very important. So the first wave of investors in Philadelphia, they found out that information. They knew where to go, institutionalized money, big funds, getting everything in their portfolio. These are guys with portfolios. The second wave, they have a little bit more money, but they're probably the family office or the standalone guys. They've been doing it. They know how to flip. They know how to turn and burn. Okay. The third level of investors, the small time investors, the entrepreneurs, people like you and me, right? That wants to come in and get value. Where do you get your information from? The Smart Movers Club, guys, the Smart Movers Club. That's why I created it. So I had this meeting with Prekin. I keep you know what? I have to learn how to, that girl said it on the phone and I was like, damn, that's how you say it. I kind of booked a demo to see what kind of information. So my goal is to make sure I get the information first and distill it in the Smart Movers Club newsletter. And that's a weekly newsletter. It's a free investment on your part. So you get the newsletter. We talk about corporate moves, acquisitions, mergers. We talk about private equity moves. We talk about government projects, infrastructure, real estate, data centers. We talk about it. We get all the information first and distill it and kind of pinpoint where or what. And that's for these small developers and first time investors. You don't want to pay more for something because you didn't know, right? So after Philadelphia was one and done, they started moving to Baltimore. And I was talking to a lone investor. He had flipped a lot of properties. He had about 10 in his portfolio. So he was a small investor, small developer. And he said, you know what? Philadelphia is done. Things that you used to get for 30,000, 50,000, 80,000 is now 150. And it's, you can't, your margins are, when you talk about rehabbing, renovating, and then turning it, put it back on the market, it could only go up so much, right? You could only get 120,000 in 120,000 area until the market says that home in that area is now 180 and it's not there yet. So it's too expensive. So he was going to go down to Baltimore. But again, I wanted to develop a system and a curated database for smart movers, for small developers, for entrepreneurs, so for first time investors. And we're not just talking about real estate. Real estate is one portion of it. But when you're talking about the companies, the big push for AI or cloud services or SaaS services, who are those companies? You're going to get that first. Who are those companies? Maybe check the industry, maybe check the center. We start developing a storyline that helps with investment period overall, looking into ETFs, looking into the company stock. Should you invest in the company? Because you're getting the information first. You're not waiting for the entire, you're on Reddit or you're on YouTube here, and then somebody, after they've done the play, after they've gotten the signal, here they come 2 months later. This is how I made. Bro, you're not telling me when the shit happened. Now it's one and done. It's gone, right? So again, the Smart Movers Club newsletter, I want to just invite you to go sign up to it. It's smartmoversclub.com. And as we grow, as we get beautiful data, as we clean this data, it's only about the story arcs. It's only about macro movements across industries, across asset classes, across regions in America. And I want to do that for you guys. So head over there. And hopefully, BlackRock just acquired Preqin, but we are hopefully going to be able to pull that data. They're doing first rounds deal on the tables. There's only so much I could give because BlackRock changed their licensing and all of that. I can't just be giving you deals that ain't even done yet. That's almost, I can't do that. But the information that I can send, hopefully we're going to have a partnership and I could get this newsletter to even bigger heights. And we're growing it. We're growing the company one person at a time, one subscriber at a time. And this is my aim, is to help you invest smarter, get there early, get the information early. Peace.